Hello friends, I am Gaurang Kumar. Welcome back to another video tutorial of a Biotech Guide. So in this video lecture, we are going to discuss about a recombinant DNA technology, which is a part of a cloning. Okay. Basically, what means of a cloning? So when we are producing same identical copies of an individual which have same phenotype and genotype, like this is the individual, and by using cloning, we'll produce a same identical copies of an individual A which have a same phenotype and same genotype. Okay, so this is defining as a cloning. Now this cloning further classified into three types: gene cloning, reproductive cloning and therapeutic cloning. So in a gene cloning, as name suggests, we are producing copies of a genes or a segment of a DNA is defining as a gene cloning, which is recombinant DNA technology, which we are going to discuss in this video lecture. Then second, reproductive cloning. So when we are producing the copies of a whole organism, like in vitro fertilization, this is defining as a reproductive cloning. Then third, therapeutic cloning, where we are producing embryonic stem cell for experiment at creating tissue to replace injured or diseased tissue. In this cloning, basically what we are copying stem cells, embryonic stem cells, okay, for the creating tissues to replace injured or a diseased tissue. So these are the three basic main types of a cloning, and we'll move further for a gene cloning recombinant DNA technology. Now let us discuss basic principle behind recombinant DNA technology and method which is used in a recombinant DNA technology. So what is technology suggest is used for producing artificial DNA. Artificial DNA, that means a synthetic DNA, where will produced by using a manually technique or using a human based, okay, artificial DNA through combination of a different genetic material from a different sources is referred to as a recombinant DNA technology. Let us discuss while taking one example, like this is the bacterium E. coli, okay, which having a plasmid as a extracellular chromosome, which is also defining as a vector. So in recombinant DNA technology, what we are going to do, first we'll isolating this plasmid, extracting this plasmid, okay. After extracting this plasmid, we use one enzyme, that is a recombinant endonucleases enzyme, restriction endonucleases enzyme. And while using this restriction endonuclease enzyme, a complete segment of this plasmid is cutted down like this, okay. After this, net plasmid is further proceeding for a ligation of what? Gene of interest, which is previously extracted or cutted down via same restriction endonucleases enzyme of our gene of interest or desired product. So same restriction endonucleases apply here, and same restriction endonucleases applied here for cutting down of a gene of interest. Next step is for the ligation of this plasmid and gene of interest. So this kind of combination is formed, and this is defining as our recombinant plasmid. Now this recombinant plasmid is further moved to in a bacteria, and after this process is defining as a transformation, okay. Different transformation techniques are there while using basically chemical based or physical based. This recombinant plasmid is further going into the bacteria, and then after this bacteria is further in a culturing process, and same multiple identical copies are formed, okay. This process is defining as a recombinant DNA technology. So let us move back to the principle artificial DNA, okay. This is the artificial DNA through a combination of a different genetic material. So here combination of genetic material is our this gene of interest from a different sources. So our this source is different, okay, and recombinant plasmid is further for a multiplication process. So this is the basic principle behind the recombinant DNA technology. Now let us discuss the tools which are used in a recombinant DNA technology. Now let us discuss tools required in a recombinant DNA technology. So major three tools are there: enzymes, vector and host organism. So let's discuss first enzymes. So basically two types of enzymes are there: lysing and cleaving. So in diagram we discuss that plasmid which is already present inside the bacteria. So that plasmid extracted via one enzyme, that is lysing. Okay, and this after lysing plasmid is further going for the gene of interest ligation. Okay, before that a particular segment is removed via enzyme that is a cleaving enzyme, right? So lysing enzyme used to open up the cell to get a DNA. Basically lysozyme is usually used in case of a bacteria, but when we are further proceeding for a plant, so cellulase enzyme is used, and for fungi chitinase is used because the cell wall is made up of this particular element. Then cleaving enzyme used to break DNA molecules, as we discussed. Now cleaving enzyme further classified into two: exonuclease, endonuclease, right? As name suggests, exo that means a exit part, right, at a terminal site. So this exonuclease cleaves at terminal ends of a DNA, right? So this is the DNA, and this exonuclease acts on this part, this terminal part, right? But in case of endonucleases, they cleaves any point of a DNA except terminal. Like this is the DNA, and this endonuclease acts on this side, or this side, except these terminal points. Okay. Then act on a single stranded of DNA or gaps in a dsDNA. So single stranded and double stranded DNA are there, and this exonuclease is applicable in both. But here in endonucleases, they cleave only in ssDNA, right, single stranded DNA. Then they do not cut RNA, but here endonucleases they may cut RNA. So these are the further classification of a cleaving enzyme. In recombinant DNA technology, restriction endonucleases, this kind of this type of enzyme is used. Let us discuss restriction endonucleases. So restriction endonucleases, so they cut DNA duplex at a specific point, as we discussed. Then their single stranded free ends are called sticky ends, which can be joined end to end by DNA ligase. So basically this is a restriction endonuclease enzyme, right, and free ends are called sticky ends, right? So their single stranded free ends is defining as what? This is the vector, right? And after application of this restriction endonuclease, this cut happens, right? So site recognized by this RE where desired DNA inserted called a cloning site. So this is defining as a cloning site, and the free ends are called as a sticky ends, right? So before proceeding ligation, this part is defining as a sticky ends. Then they recognize the base sequence of a palindromic sites of a dsDNA. Palindromic sites, as we know, A, T, G, C and C, G, T, A. So this is defining as a palindromic site. Okay, so this restriction endonucleases is recognized also palindromic sites of a dsDNA. Then based on this mechanism of action is defining as a molecular seizure or biological seizure. And in 1978, Erber, Smith and Norton were awarded Nobel Prize for this discovery. So this is the main important point of a restriction endonucleases enzyme. Except this restriction endonucleases, other enzymes also there in a restriction and in a recombinant DNA technology: polymerase and ligase. Polymerase, as name suggests, multiple copies poly helps to synthesize, and ligase, ligating, as name suggests, ligating, to helps to bind and ligation. So these are the core concepts of enzyme used in a recombinant DNA technology. Next, we are going to discuss vectors. Vector is a kind of a vehicle which carries the desired DNA, right? Helps to carrying and getting the desired gene. Here, plasmid vector are most commonly used. We discussed previously in bacteria, we are isolating plasmid. Then the mode of action. So plasmid are pieces of a DNA defining as extracellular chromosome that is manipulated through a restriction endonucleases, right? And gene of interest is inserted as a new part of a plasmid called as a recombinant DNA. Then third, host organism. So into which this produced recombinant DNA is introduced, right? So these are the basic three main important tools which are required for processing any recombinant DNA technique. Basically, different kinds of vectors are there. We'll make another video based on different kinds of a vector, right? So this is the simplest basic info behind this all tool. Now we'll proceed for a stepwise process of a recombinant technology. So let us discuss steps involved in a recombinant DNA technology. So major 5 steps are there. First one is isolation of a genetic material. Second one is cutting the gene of the recognition site, amplifying gene copies through a polymerase chain reaction. Then after the basic ligation, and then after insertion, transformation. So these are the main 5 steps. Let us discuss first 3, isolation of a genetic material. As we discussed in the initial step in recombinant DNA technology, where cell wall disruption will going to proceed via source of a material, like when the source of DNA is plant, so we'll use a cellulase, because the cell wall of a plant is made up of a cellulose. That's why enzyme enzyme will use cellulase. In case of fungi, chitinase, and in case of bacteria, lysozyme. Lysozyme is breaks down the peptidoglycan layer, right? So here this kind of enzyme is used in isolation of a genetic material. Then step 2, cutting the gene of recognition site. So here restriction endonucleases RE plays a major role in determining location at which desired gene inserted, that is defining as a cloning site, into the vector of a genome, right? So as we discussed in a restriction endonucleases enzyme, their main function is to cut at a specific site, that's which is cloning site, right? Where desired gene, right, which we want to amplify, that desired gene is further ligating into this vector at a cloning site, and this reaction is called as a restriction enzyme digestion. Then third step, amplifying gene copies through polymerase chain reaction. After producing these recombinant plasmid, that means a plasmid which have our desired gene of interest, that is defining as a recombinant plasmid, is further going for an amplification process through polymerase chain reaction. As we know, polymerase chain reaction is the process to amplify single copy of DNA into thousands to millions of copies, right? Using this PCR technique, that recombinant plasmid is further proceeding for the generating multiple copies of a recombinant DNA. Now let us discuss step 4, ligation of a DNA molecule. So here cutted part of a desired gene and the cleaving part, or we can say the plasmid which having a cloning site, right, that two is combined. As I can, this is our desired gene and this is the plasmid, okay? And in this step, what happened, this desired gene is ligating here in a plasmid. This is defining as a ligation by using DNA ligase enzyme, right? Then step 5, insertion of a recombinant DNA into a host. Now this recombinant DNA is going to for a insertion. This is defining as a transformation, right? And this in this step, this host is also defining as a recipient because they receive a recombinant DNA. Once after insertion, it gets multiplied under optimal condition, right? So as we discussed in previous PCR, polymerase chain reaction, which is applied in a controlled condition. Different steps are there in PCR. Then this is also different kinds of transformation techniques are applied, like as a micro injection, biologistics, liposome mediated transformation, electroporation, where different techniques is used to insertion of this recombinant DNA into a host cell, right? So this is all about of the steps in a recombinant DNA technology. Now let us discuss application of a recombinant DNA technology. These are the areas where recombinant DNA technology is useful. So first, gene therapy. So the purpose of gene therapy is to correct genetic defects that give rise to hereditary disease, right? So in mechanism, we can say replacing or supplementing a mutated or non-functional gene via replacing healthy or a functional copy of a gene directly inside a patient cell, right? So this is the application of rDNA technology in a gene therapy. Second, clinical diagnosis. The purpose used for early and highly accurate detection of an infectious pathogen or a genetic marker. And the example is detecting presence of HIV in an individual using enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay, ELISA. Then third, agriculture. The purpose is widely applied to develop genetically modified organism called a GMO with enhanced trait like a pest resistance or increased nutritional content, right? Example is golden rice, which is biofortified with a vitamin A. Second, BT cotton, which is genetically modified to produce a natural insecticide to a ward of a common pest. Then fourth, medical or pharmaceutical industry. Purpose used for the mass production of a therapeutic protein and safer medication. Example is insulin, specifically humulin, which is mass produced using engineered bacteria to treat diabetes, right? So these are the application of a recombinant DNA technology. And here we completed our video lecture. I hope you got it very well. Thanks for watching, and if you want to get more and more videos regarding like this, join with us and be a perfect biotechnology, because every cell have a story, right? Thank you.